Just looking, 2 seconds, guys. Just going on with Lads Talk Health tonight, guys. Right, here we go.
Hello, you beautiful man.
You all right?
Buzzing. West Ham won, so joint 6. That's what I'm going to say about that. Very happy.
So welcome on Lads Talk Health again. And tonight we are talking about protecting your energy. And it's a big thing that me and James work on with a number of our clients, and we actually live it all the time ourselves now. And it's a big thing. And when people start understanding energy, start realizing life can be a lot more simple.
Yeah, great introduction, mate, because it's a very real subject for a lot of people, because protecting your energy starts at home and with your nearest and dearest as well, and even with your kids to an extent, which I was thinking about today. So yeah, understanding your energy and what it is so important, because I mean, it's safe to say now, I know we've mentioned this before, that it's being recognised and accepted as part of mainstream science, and in the health side of science as well, as how things, as we know, stress is a killer. So I tell you, stress is a killer. Yes, it really is. Is stress a physical thing, or is it part of your energy source, your sixth sense, your gut instinct, all the rest of it, whatever you want to label it as?
Love that. We're both coaches, and we work with people, all sorts of spectrums. We work with people who are terminally ill, we work with business owners, we work with families, we do child development. Literally every single one of these can be tied back to energy. And half the time that our language is words, and you often find that a lot of people don't understand or can't get out what they're trying to express with their words. But if you went to just their energy focus instead, you start reading people so much easier. You start making sense that things actually make more sense when it feels lighter. But when you've got an illness and stuff, it's about protecting your energy. Well, not even an illness, just living life in general. The more you protect your energy, the more charged up you are, the more you'll enjoy life, but the more you'll be able to help other people as well. So we're going to go through a number of different things just to put it into like layman's terms, just so you can be like, oh yeah. So if you don't mind me starting, James, I'll go straight into it. So the best way I like explaining energy, because a lot of this stuff we talk about, people would look at it as woo-woo. That's nonsense. And the thing with science, if it's not physical, it's not science. They can't use it. So this is why it's always missed. And you'll see things that happen. You go, oh, that's unreal. That's unbelievable. Because it does feel so crazy because you can't see it. But that's energy. So best way to describe for me, and this, everyone can agree with this. So you walk into a room and there's two people arguing with each other, angry arguing, and you walk in at that moment where it stops talking, you feel that energy in the room, you feel that tension, and you're like, oh, I'll go out, I'll give you two some space. You know they've had that argument. That for me is energy. You can't deny it. Energy as well, if you look at plants, I always use this as an example. Your plant grows in your front room. It just grows. Magically, there'll be a new stem that comes out, or this new growth. Where's that come from? That's energy. Energy helps literally everything on this planet. If you look at food, what do we measure in? Calories. That's energy. And the crazy thing is with science, although we dismiss it because it's not physical, everything that they use in terms of the apparatus of measuring is through energy. X-ray, energy. Ultrasound, energy. So we dismiss it, yet we use that to measure stuff.
Yeah, and on the flip side of one of your examples, when both my children were born, when that you're in the room, you see the child for the first time, there's nothing physical about what goes on. It is a surge a surge of something you wish you could keep hold of the whole time. The novelty would never wears off with kids, and they produce more energetic times. But that initial, that's energy. Definitely, that's energy. And yeah, it's in regards to protecting it. I mean, this is something I'm experiencing currently. You know, we're not perfect. Again, it's what I love about being a life coach. We're not here to claim to be perfect. You know, we're here to be transparent and share experiences with you. And it's funny enough, becoming a life coach proved very testing, because there was a positive energy shift in myself, which threw my wife off initially. And it was because, like you said, sometimes when you walk into a room, be the person in the room. We've all been there with the missus, where I'm going to do a bit of a laddie thing now. We're lads at the end of the day, and there's always going to be a flip side on this. But sometimes, lads, you just know, didn't you? When, the slightest thing could set her off, and she'll poke just a little bit, and you can feel your energy. It's going from, I'm going to be the bigger person here, I'm being present, I'm being now. There's a little prod, and then another little prod. And all of a sudden, you go from the life coach and being present. This is me, I'm talking about, oh, fuck's sake, what's that? And then it.
I think we lost him. Sorry, guys, just waiting for James to come back. Give me 2 seconds, guys. So I'll continue with the energy as well, because when we use our words can be, you literally take the meaning of the word, but words are not everything. So people can lie, people can say things, but when you actually pay attention to the energy that comes behind it, you know if someone's in a bad mood just by the way they answer it from their energy. And a good way to look at it is when you are a little kid, and let's say that you've just been born and you're just coming out now, and parents talk to their kids, all with good energy. But the moment, imagine if you started bringing a bad energy to your child. You can't say that with words. You can't be angry and be happy with your, it's difficult. So you can literally just hear and sense the energy, and the child would feel that. And that's so important to become aware of. It's just the way that we start turning up in terms of our energy and the way that we express ourselves, because the words, oh, I've got someone else going on. The words that we use half the time are just kind of cover it up in terms of our real feelings. So now I'm working with clients and I'm literally watching, I'm listening, I'm looking out for their energy. When people talk about their kids, their energy comes alive. They light up. Their body language changes. That's truth. That's real. That's what they like. But when they talk about something that they don't like, their whole energy changes. Their tone changes. And again, I know straight away that there's something up there. I know when they light up with something. And our job's to keep. You was getting to the good bit then, mate.
I was just getting prodded, and you see the energy? But yeah, no, seriously, so you're there, and you know full well, without anything physical, that you could choose to either protect your energy and her energy by walking away and removing yourself, or not responding to a narky comment or you can choose to engage. And by doing that, you completely unprotect yourself anyway, and you allow the fact in this particular scenario, and it could be a friend, it could be anyone you care about, doesn't matter who. If you care about someone, again, no one's perfect, they're going to have bad days. And when you know that you have that choice to make, which we all do. We all do. We all know that we could have, I could have just done that then. But when you do that, not only do you not protect your own energy, you allow that person's negative energy field to just get bigger and almost validate it. Whereas if you protected your energy, she's got nothing, he's got nothing to bounce off, all of a sudden that dissipates. And then that person will appreciate the fact that you didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. And the amount of times, I'm definitely, again, Harry, thanks to you, these things that I wasn't aware of. I can countless times since this stuff. But yeah, we're back to that story. I was finishing that countless times when becoming a life coach. It took my wife a long time to get used to the fact that stuff that I would have reacted to in the past, I wasn't reacting to. I wasn't allowing that reaction. Not every time, don't get me wrong. Still times I mess up. But yeah, and then I was doing that with my children. I was doing that with, you just start doing it with everyone. And what you're actually doing is you're protecting yourself. But by protecting yourself, you share, I don't know, I'm trying to get the right word, how's that? It's like people who you care about and care about you recognize it, and then they see the benefit. Conversations have come up since with my mum. It is nearest and dearest. You really get tested, and sometimes you played a role thinking, oh, I just have to put up with this, or just have to engage in this. You don't. You definitely don't. Protecting yourself in those situations will instantly make better of that situation. Instantly. It has to, because you didn't allow it to get worse by feeding into it. You protected your energy.
It's the feeding that you said there, which I think is key as well, because when someone argues and then someone else back, you're just building this more and more tension between you the whole time. Protecting your energy, if you can just be present and just stay with it, it's only coming from one direction. And there's only so much that they can keep going, that in the end, they run out of energy. And then all of a sudden, that's with you're so fully charged, then you can start putting this good energy into that conversation. And in my head, I'm like, right, let's change the tone now, because you've had your say and I'm listening. And you just give back a good one. And again, if you can just look at it, right, I'm holding the space, I'm giving good energy. Just by having that thought, I'm telling you, good energy goes in. So with the energy stuff as well, again, it sounds woo-woo. Let me just make it even more simple to understand, because me and James work with clients that are terminally ill, and we do a lot of cases with cancer. And when we look at cancer, at that point, you need to keep all your energy. You have to protect it all, because any bit of energy you're in, that could be used for healing right now. And it's at that point is usually when people become aware of, wow, I'm wasting so much energy right now. I didn't even realize it. And our job is to make people aware of it. And energy can come from everything. The words that we use, thoughts that we think, to us getting triggered when someone says something, or on social media, you know, that initial reaction, that's your energy just going whoop, 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 whoop. Just stresses energy. And over time, if we keep giving our energy and sending it out this way, the energy that's meant to be going through our body that keeps us alive, all of a sudden is running out. And all these organs that you have, which need the energy to fuel it, are not getting it. And all of a sudden we start growing tumours. It's an imbalance. So when we're looking at stuff like this, usually we can pin it down to some serious wastage of energy somewhere. That's our job, is to find it. And as soon as people start seeing that, all of a sudden, right, got some more, and then they create the shield. And this is the best way. I'll let you go in a minute, mate. I'm gonna roll. But this is the best way. Imagine you've got this whole energy shield around you, and every thought you think of that you're negative is just going like this. Every word that you say, never, can't, you fuck it, you're just wasting energy. Every time someone walks past that you don't like, you're giving your energy away. You have to keep it. You have to bring it back. That's the best way of looking at it to start with, is that you've got this energy thing, and right now your energy is very, very, very low. For you parents out there, you need to be fully charged. Think about it. When you're at your best, how much easier it is when your kids are running around causing you a headache. When you're at your best, that's quite easy to handle, right? But most of us run on half empty. And because most people are so good, or the ones I work with, they do so much for other people. They care for people, but yet they're not fully charged. And then that's when burnout happens, because you're literally running on empty, and you're so kind that you're even giving that last remaining fuel away as well. So people say selfish. Yes, be selfish. Be as selfish as you can with your energy, because you know that once you are fully charged, you can help as many people. You can go to work fully charged, and all them stressful moments you'll be able to handle so much better.
I think that's perfectly segued into what I wanted to say on that as well, in regards to the fact that when you protect your own energy and you boost your own energy, as if you, because there are a lot of, and again, for me, so much of these experiences that we're talking about comes from the people that we're working with, Hazza, to be honest, and just the way that often, as you know, when it comes to the part about asking them, you know, because everyone we work with in those positions, at some point we'll talk about the end. At some point they'll talk about the end, and it'll always be this one, it's, I can't believe I'm leaving this, and it's always about, like you said, not about them at this stage. It's about how that other person's going to be, how they going to survive, and how they, so, which is understandable. First and foremost, it's understandable, it is natural, and have that thought, notice it, allow it, notice it, and then you can neutralize that thought by thinking, well, hold on, if I just rein that back into thinking, well, if I just boost myself, my energy, and go as hardcore as I can into me, regardless if what happens, if I do that, the people around me are going to benefit regardless, because they're seeing me show up, being positive, because no matter what, in any situation, as bad as it seems, if the person that is the sufferer, the person that's that is at the hub of that negative energy, just goes, pow! Do you know what? I'm going to do everything I want to do from now on. Everyone around them is going to go, oh, yeah, you snap out instantly, because we've been programmed to expect to just go, oh, okay, the end is nigh. And everything's shutting down, and and if the person is like that, of course everybody around them will feed into that energy as well. Because I'll talk to Harry, they say about such and such, it seems like she's really giving up. And again, we're feeding this negative energy. Now, also, obviously it's about protecting your energy, and like we just covered, the fact that when you protect your energy and boost your own energy, you infuse that in a positive way to your surroundings. It's also, and this is where the beauty of having like-minded people around you is, it's also important to protect your energy by sharing your energy. That is massive, because that's what we do, that's what we do, that when we then first calls with people, some reactions you can see. But it's always understanding that to share your energy with someone else when you are feeling a bit low, and that person's like-minded with you and knows what they need to do at that point, then all of a sudden they'll give you your energy boost that you needed by just sharing, again, that goes back to being present with that person. I know when Hazza's having a nightmare day, Hazza knows when I'm having a shit day. There's little things that are instant. You just know, you can't hide, and nor should you, because when you're with people that you need in your existence, in your presence, it's massively important that whatever you naturally are at that point on an energetic level is shared, so that they can then, if you're in a bouncy great mood, they can feed off that, because they might need that. But if they can sense that you need that pick me up, then again, it's just being aware. So yeah, protecting your energy is also sharing your energy to protect it is also something that needs to be done.
Well, the reason why, and explain to people, at the moment we're working with so many people, and everyone knows, everyone's stressing, everyone's in fear, everyone's a bit, I'd say, lower than usual, right? I'm fucking buzzing every single. I know because every day I'm having conversation with people, and by the end of the conversation, they come alive. So by me just making them happy, I get even more energized, and I look at myself as a battery now. I love helping people because I get fully charged. And who listen to the words that we use? Oh, that person's so draining. What's it draining? Your energy. That's what draining is. Like you're if you're not aware, and then you're in this conversation, they're just off for fuck's sake, and look at that person, that the bitching, the gossiping, and all that sort of stuff sucks it out of you. And it's to be aware of that and not get caught into it, because you're feeding off of that energy the whole time.
Definitely. And this is a generic thing as well. So it's in all roles of your life. It's at work. How many people have that person at work that they find draining? Like you said, what are they draining? Well, they say that person took the air out of the room. How did they do that? Just by being there. Okay, so how are they doing that then? Like it happens in all walks of your life. It happens at home. Like I said, like I've got 2 kids, as we all probably, anyone who's watched by now knows. I've realised at times I need to protect my energy from my children. Why? Because in the long run of me protecting my energy at one point from my children knows that the longevity of the day of having the 2 children, I'm keeping my energy levels balanced. Whereas I could, which I do sometimes, I'm having a bad day. The kids are being kids, just being kids. They're just a bundle of energy kids. They don't know what, I've got a 3-year-old girl, 1 minute's happy as anything, next minute's grumpy as anything, because she's working her energy levels out at the moment. So if I'm having a bad day, they're having a bad day, and then I react quickly to something, what happens then? Deathly silence. Kids are sad. I feel shit. Like no one's saying anything, but yet you could feel the weight in the room of regret, failure on my part. So again, this is all stuff we all experience. And it doesn't have to be from a parental perspective. It could be with, I've got 3 brothers. There's times when they drain the shit out of me. That I'm telling you, they drain in my energy. And me, probably them at times as well. It happens. These things happen. But it's being aware that, like for me, within circles of people where you know that regardless of an energy clash at some point, there's a bigger energy field almost that you're part of with that person. That's how I think of with my family and whatnot. It's not, you protect it, but there's almost like a knowing of, I'm protecting this for now, but I know, this is something we're going to work through at some point. Whereas, and the reason I'm sort of stuttering a little bit on this is thinking, because on the flip side, I'm thinking about, again, from personal experiences, things that have happened to me. If I'd have protected my energy completely shut off, because that is what you need to do sometimes. And again, sometimes that is with people that you may not think that you need to do with. But sometimes you do have to be completely cold and cut it off for your own energy levels to be balanced right, because you need to be healthy mentally. Because anything energetic, again, one of my brothers is unfortunately had issues with mental illness, still does, and I've seen my brother, he's only a couple of years younger than me, just how much his energy has been drained over the years by the medication, funny enough, he's been taking for his illness. But that's what's drained out of him on his bad days. It's just, I look at literally an empty shell sometimes in regards to an energy level, and it's difficult because you're trying to boost him up. Again, prior to me being aware of this stuff, I'd try and boost him up by, shaking him up, and then I'd get angry, and then that's my energy. Just then I'm just feeding into his negative energy that he definitely doesn't need at that point. So yeah, it is important to be massively aware all times, initially of your own energy, because we've all had days where we don't know, why am I feeling like? You don't even know why you're feeling like that. But if you take a bit of time, often, a bit of breathing, you can often find the source of what it was. But again, we don't allow ourselves to do that because we're just in a rush all the time, like you said, and all of a sudden all the energy is seeping out everywhere, and you definitely don't get that back.
No, not at all. Can you give examples then, James? Because when you used to work with your clients, and you said that because there is death that is involved in the stuff that we do.
Yeah.
When you bring that home with you?
God. Straight away. So there was a lady, Southeast London, a lovely, lovely woman. I met the sister because she was really, really ill at the time. Bless her, poor woman. She was stuck in hospital because she had such a big brain tumor. She was consistently 24 hours a day, had just like a brace to keep her still. So she had to imagine trying to fall asleep. That's constant pain. Imagine trying to fall asleep like that the whole time. Like, that was her existence. When I met the sister, she explained it to me, what had been going on. And it's very difficult when you're constantly, because all of a sudden you become, you're sort of a stranger. Initially, you come into this mix, and there's hope, as you know, that you can see in people's eyes as well straight away. And for me, initially, that was something that I used to feel really conscious of as well, because there's never any guarantees. That's not how we work or what we offer. I mean, other than guaranteeing a positive, definitely experience, there's never any guarantees in outcomes. And yeah, I just remember this one particular woman, incredible woman. It was amazing. The work was really benefiting what we was doing. It got to a stage where she wasn't eating either. She was nil by mouth, absolutely just in pain all the time because of what was going on in her head. But things got a lot better, especially when she was eating. And she said towards the end, it was just nice to go out on a full stomach. Silly little things again that people, but I used to get off the phone from the sister, and she would be telling me in a loving, hopeful way of what's been going on with the lady, and it'd be heartbreaking. And then you get off the phone, and then I'm in that energy field, and I'd react to something that my wife would say or the kids would do, almost out of anger for that person, like you don't know how good do you know what I mean? Like, it was, and it's stupid. I mean, that wasn't beneficial to anyone, but it starts, as humbling as it is, as I said, always, when you work with these people and you see their approach and to fight and whatnot. Initially, it was like physically draining. And yeah, my energy was absolutely sapped quite often. And then my family suffered. It got to a stage where it did become a bit of a, like my wife told me, you need to detach because you're bringing that home. And I was. So yeah, it is, and that could have, I was very down about things, and it didn't come out in a good way. But what was down? It was my energy, because I was not protecting it, because I just thought by just giving all that energy with it and just colluding in the sadness of it all that wasn't good for me. So yeah, there's an example of but that happened quite a few times at the beginning. But thankfully now, especially again through what I learned from initially having you as a life coach and then going through the course myself, is now the trick is you empower the person with the information about their energy and about what's going on inside their body. Because like Hazza said, there is a lot more. Now, if you start digging into this stuff, if you think any of this is BS, start looking into what mainstream medicine and mainstream science, real science, not pseudoscience, real natural science, following the proper scientific method, I might add. Look what they are currently looking into. Look at the big things they're looking into. Look what they're, I don't know if anyone's heard of the CERN computer and whatnot, what they're trying to create. It's all energy. Everything is around energy. Artificial intelligence, AI. What's that? That's a pre-built false energy. Based on what? Human energy. It's trying to mimic what humans do, but it's not in a physical way. It's done with an artificial way. It's an artificial energy. That's what they're creating. I saw that working in my most recent sector, was in the IT field. They're literally replacing people with energy, electric. It's energy. We're made of energy, of electric. That, again, that's fact. Look into that. I think everyone knows that, don't they? So it's not that woo-woo, is it, when you think about it?
And then go back to the fruit again. A good way of looking at it. I come back from Brazil, spent a month out there for Christmas. I felt so healthy, felt more energetic. I've got wrinkles again already, but they disappeared in the month. But I put that down to the food. But if you think about the universe provides for us, but the food out there is straight from the tree. And imagine you've got this orange just lit up with energy, vibrant. You pull it off, you eat it straight in the body. Look what happens in the UK. That amazing fruit, which is imported from, let's say, gets in there. It must take a few days to get to the airport. Goes on the plane, gets to England. That energy just going, still shiny fruit. You're not getting that nutrient. So you eat tomatoes in the supermarket, no taste, dead, tasteless. But when you go to a farmer's market or you go on holiday, you're like, oh my, tomatoes, it's amazing. Because it's got energy in there. So from a food standpoint, we measure in energy. And again, I would challenge that. That's why UK law can be out by 20%, because I think they might measure it when it is alive. And by the time you eat it, you're not getting all them calories because they're not there. And so from a health perspective, guys, if you look at seasonal foods, actually, because we don't produce enough in this country, we're always importing, but we still make our own foods. So it's to go to your farmers markets and go to the local greengrocers and then buy from there. And it was ages ago, my mum went, yeah, but they go off really quickly. I was like, yes, that's what they're meant to.
Because they're supposed to.
They're alive, now they're dying. That's it. But I'd rather eat it while it's alive rather than being left for a year, which they're doing with apples and stuff now as well. So have a look at what's in season. And in the UK, you've got all asparagus in the summer. Strawberries are pretty much for 4 or 5 months of the year. You've got apples that are all year round. But pay attention to where it's actually from. And you'll start seeing quickly in the supermarkets, they're all international. So from a health perspective as well, when we're fueling ourselves with energy, you want it to be vibrant. You want it to be alive. And that helps.
Yeah, you couldn't have said, again, that's a great example. And it's common sense. And it was really weird you said that, because I was watching, I think it was one of them Russell Brand podcasts he did recently, and he was talking about like kids eating good food, and he said something. It won't be. It's not going to be verbatim. It won't be as good as the way he said it. But he basically said, in a Russell Brand way, he said, "What sense does it make not eating food what's grown where you live?" And you think about that, because that's where it used to be. Like in my mum's day, even, everything was like in East London. Still to this day, you still get them. But back in the day, like Roman Road Market, Hoxton Market, Bethnal Green Market, Whitechapel, I used to get dragged around there with my mum and my nan. But everything was fresh. Everything was local. Everyone knew each other. It's not that that's, but even that, it's the energy of that. I mean, as much as I used to get dragged around there, the only bit that used to drive me absolutely mad is they'd pick stuff up one week just to take it back and change it the next week. And that used to be murders. But the experience of going to the market with my nan, Rose Lowe, she's quite an incredible woman. She wrote books. She ran a club during the end of the Second World War. Anyway, but it was nice. You pick up even then on the energy of what's going on around you. But yeah, the produce back then in the markets was local. But it is these days, you go to, Tesco's, Asda, all the rest of them. It's like you say, you're going in there, and 9 times out of 10, why do you think it's the cheapest thing, but yet it's come the furthest distance?
Mm.
How does that make sense? The tomatoes that are 65p that have come from fucking God knows where on the back of the plane with chickens shitting all over them. Uh, and then, of course, they'll have a local organic one that's a couple of quid.
Yeah.
I don't know. I understand when people tend to view the opinion of it's almost like they don't want you to bring back the market. Someone just said, yes, mindful coaching. Good on ya. Bring back the apples and pears. I used to love all that. But yeah, it's all, and it is, on that note, it really is. Hello, Candice. It is a case of that the whole experience of the markets, funny enough, as well. You go outside with other people looking for good food. You end up having a chat. You do. It is a really nice, energetic. It is always. You know, you come home from them days, think, you bumped into someone you ain't seen in a while. You share energy. You're just happy to see. You see him from afar, instantly. It has like straight away before you've even got to me. He's not seen me yet, but I'm fucking buzzing. Like, why am I? But that's not a physical thing. It's an energy thing, and it's things that don't take for granted. Because I'll tell you now, when I got one thing I guarantee from the people I've worked with, when any of us get really sick, these things we are going to care about. So why not start caring about it in advance when it matters? Especially if now science is telling us, maybe there's a link to not being down, not being negative, and not being stressed, that you are quite healthy and you are quite fit. And then on the flip side, oh, that person with this, oh yeah, he was a bit of a recluse, didn't really talk to anyone, a bit of a... We've all heard these stories. We all know these people. So there's got to be something to be said in there somewhere.
Definitely. I'm going to go around the clock at all the different examples of energy as well. So I'm from the fitness industry. Exercise. People hate exercise, but they look at the word exercise and what comes with it. If we just lost all of that, and I'm going to go on to the weeks quickly as well. So normally have a bad week of like, why? I've only trained once this week, or I've trained twice this week. All of a sudden it's a bad, if you just lost weeks and you just become active every day, every other day, every third day, you did something active. If you just look from an energy standpoint to fuel your body, all your organs, your brain and everything, just by moving, you're getting energy going around the body. You're moving your blood. That is healing your body, even if it is a walk, even if it is just a little jog. Energy is fueling you. So by you not doing anything because you don't like exercise, you're reducing your lifespan. You're reducing your happiness, and you're reducing your ability to help people around you as well. And this is why I always say be selfish. Just going out for a walk is not just exercise. There's so much that comes with it. That's like a meditation. That's your own space. That gives you a bit of appreciation. That clears your head from all the other stuff that's going on in the world as well. So exercise, yes, I'm from a PT and we should all exercise, just from living life a bit better and a bit longer and enjoying it more. It's so important from an energy standpoint. Then you can all remember, well, you're a football fan. West Ham especially, it's a shit energy today. Why? Because everyone took that energy in together. There wasn't just one person going, come on, you all in it together, right? But when it's a fucking good day, how buzzing are you after a good win?
Yeah. We won today, by the way.
Yeah, I can't tell, though.
We were, mate. I'm holding it down because we're on camera. Don't worry, I was celebrating downstairs.
But that's the thing, but you come in happier. You're in a better mood.
Yeah, of course.
So something like go to a rave, where you go to an amazing rave, it's euphoric because you're in this energy field with other people, and the more the music lifts you up, which again is energy, everyone is happier. So this is like collectively at the moment, all these things we're talking about, we're not exercising, we're not getting in groups and sharing energy, we're not communicating and giving our energy and stuff. It's a disconnect all the time. So just from that standpoint alone, we are suffering more. We are in fear. Because we're not even aware that we're really running on empty at the moment, and we're not doing anything about recharging ourselves.
Yeah, it's a good point, especially what you said about the fact that the way things are at the minute with the virus, that not only are we being like kept apart, families. I mean, what happened over Christmas and whatnot is just heartbreaking, you know. But so you're being taken away human contact, human touch, and then you're being put in a position where you feel imprisoned in your own home. And then for most people, there's this thing in the corner of the room that is firing at the biggest amount of negative energy on loop, on loop, literally. And you're timed. You've got the 9 o'clock news, you've got the midday news, and people live by it. So they sit there and they just get more and more down, and they wonder why currently suicides up, domestic violence, all the stuff that was blatantly obvious would go up if you all of a sudden locked people down like the way that it happened, has gone up. And the amount of negative energy that, I mean, you know, when I go to the post office, for example, I'm standing up in the queue and all you can hear is like someone talking about that. Oh, have you heard about today? Have you heard what they've said today? It's like, it's bad enough. Like you take it on and it's like, oh, let me go. I've got to make sure I tell Doris and Betty and Dave and Tony. And it's you just think, like the cycle. And I mean, like I said, this is with my own family. I've had to tell my mum recently, don't phone me up feeding me with glue. Oh, I've got no one to talk to. Yes, you have. You've got me to talk to. But why are you talking to me with glue? Oh, I just need to get out my system, and it's something I heard on the radio. This killed me the other day. I can't help it. It's on the radio. Switch the radio off. Oh, no, I can't. Why? Oh, because I like that radio station. All right, switch it off when the news comes. Oh, yeah, I suppose I could do that. And it's... By the end of the call, I'd shaken my mum out of it, and it was a normal conversation. But it was, honestly, I picked up the phone and I just felt the gloom. And listen, again, this is something people must be able to relate to. Mum and dads, we've all had them when you see the call come in and you just think, not that. As well, which is, I'm being honest, we've all done that. And again, that's energy, which is a shame. But it's like, you know what energy is going to come at that point because you're used to it, and then you make a choice whether or not to engage in it at that point or not. So sometimes it is good to protect your energy even in them circumstances. But my example is, we've all got that. That's a classic example because we all pick up phones. You pick up a phone, you see the name, something energetic happens every time, either a positive or a negative, but it's an energetic response because you feel, hey, it's one of the, yeah, it's one of the two. So, and again, that is an energetic experience most people are doing fucking hundreds of times a day these days. Oh, someone's just put in a big message. Energy wants to move, it's progressive. I have felt my cortisol levels rise watching a thriller, which isn't even real, let alone the news. And I'm aware people are watching that box. And all that's bang on, Cans. Bang on.
Yeah.
It is. It's the I mean, the clue's in the name. TV program. Sorry, I'm hogging.
No, this is. Do you think that's it? You feel the energy coming through? Oh, you definitely can feel the energy coming through the phone. Try yourself. This is what I encourage people to do. There is nothing better than making someone else happy. Nothing better at all, especially when they're in the low place. And right now, there's a lot of people in the low place. Just go into the day now, going, no matter what they come at me, even if I don't agree with it, even if it normally pisses me off, I'm going to meet them with love. What would love do right now? And you keep saying that, and just by saying that question to yourself, it's powerful. Or, how would I show up as my best self right now? I know I'm going into this war zone. As soon as I open my front door, I know mum and dad are this. I know the little ones are this. What would love do right now? And just notice that feeling of that urge wanting to come up. Just notice it and try to become aware of it. Because as soon as you start doing that, then all of a sudden you're going, oh my God, it's working. Oh my God. And you're becoming aware, and all this negative energy that's coming towards you, all of a sudden you save. So just when I was speaking about that, I was just thinking about clients again, when we're looking at cancer. So cancer, being around people with cancer has been my biggest teaching for how we should live our life. And this is a really profound statement, but I would agree, and we would agree, that we should live our life but we got cancer.
Mm.
Because at that point, you need to save your energy. You need your energy more than ever. But at that point now, because you are at that stage, and if you don't save your energy, then we're going to go spiraling. You can say no to people and be okay with it. Whereas most people, they don't say no because they worry about what people think.
Mm.
So you're coming out, Harry? Don't want to go. Yeah, I might do. I'll try. I'm wasting my energy. If I just said, nah, mate, not coming out today, long day.
Mm.
Save my energy. Talking about cancer again. So I noticed when you've got cancer, all your loved ones, all your friends, and all the strangers all become an expert on it. Everyone has an opinion, and this is what I want you guys to be aware of. Be careful. You shouldn't do that. You should go vegan. You shouldn't do chemo. Go alternative. You should be eating more. You need more sleep. Why are you doing that for? All from a place of love, but what I'm watching is the person on the other end that gets this every day. For fuck's sake. Someone will say a stupid comment. Oh, my mate's mum had cancer. She died. If you're not paying attention, you're literally taking all this energy.
Mm.
You're wasting it. So if you become aware of it, and then you just say to yourself, actually, I know it's coming. And this is what I'm going to say to you. We're not talking about cancer now. You know other people's opinions coming. They're entitled to their opinion. So if you know it's coming, protect yourself from it and just be like, okay, from the cancer side, what stupid comments can I get today? Or how many stupid comments? So every time they come, you're like, there's one, there's two, more energy for me, more energy for me, more energy for me. I'm protecting myself. From the opinions now, as you go in, especially the vocal people that have an opinion themselves, just expect other people are not going to agree with you. And normally we're getting this little rage going back and forwards. But if you can go in it, and as long as your opinion, you're confident with it, and you can justify it, and that's okay then. If they don't agree, cool. But be aware of it. Like, you want to write back, that little monkey brain. If you just hold back, all of a sudden I just think, I'm stronger again. And it's a great way of looking at it, because as soon as you start doing that, and you do that consistently, because at the moment you're thinking about it, that's a new kind of reaction here. When you do it on repeat, on loop, all of a sudden that becomes automatic. And you can start dealing with all this drama out in the outside world. So at the end of the day, it's still your world. But it still comes back to you.
That's good, mate. Glad that was on the live. I was going to start a slow clap. No, you're bang on, mate. Bang on. And do you know what? With that, is following on, is one of the easiest things we can do, which it just infuses good energy and you feel instantly better every time, is just be kind to people. Even if, and this is the best, in fact, that killing with kindness, I live by that mantra, killing with kindness. That's something now I'm getting very good at in regards to in situations. I mean, I get on some of the Facebook pages that we've got, and it's, in fact, funny enough, here's a good example. So today, recently put up another positive message on Facebook, and also asked if there's any people that are struggling at the moment to reach out and blah, 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 free of charge. Make sure I emphasize that, no charge, blah, 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 blah. Slated. In fact, someone said, you sound like a coke dealer, mate. I was like, I read back what I wrote. So I just put, LOL, thank you so much for being so perceptive, but could you please point out which part sounded like coke? But anyway, so now I didn't think much more of that at that point, but then someone messaged me on Facebook, and this is the first time that I remember the name, but I've not had, people join and add on groups, and you don't always have interaction with everyone, do you? It's not the way it works. But I know this person had been on for a while, this woman, and she contacted me on Facebook and said, can I call you? Which is not the norm on Facebook so much, is it? I mean, I'm still crap with this stuff, but not often do I phone people on, especially someone I've never spoken to. But of course, I said, yeah, of course. So anyway, I got onto this phone with this woman, and what a lovely. Do you know what? she might end up being a guest on here, you know, as I'll tell you more about her after, because it's all happened today, so I've not filled you in completely on this. But she reached out, and the first thing she said, she just went, "I want you to know that your messages always pick my energy up." And I was just like, straight away, that because I'd not long had the interaction, and I'm not gonna lie, you know, there's still important to know people. Like, I don't think I am a messiah or Jedi at this stuff. I am still egotistical. I still have pride, you know. So when I had that response from that person, I did find it funny. There was still a bit of a disappointment. Why would someone choose to be cynical like that when there was nothing in that message? But I was just, you know, just trying to be nice. So it sapped a bit of my, because I should have, if I was being completely present, I'd have realised that's totally his to deal with, and I shouldn't even think about that. But anyway, so when this woman rang, and it was like the first thing she said, which was just a great icebreaker as well, because I just said to her, I said, "Do you know what? Thank you so much for saying that." And I explained what had just happened. He said, "No, I love the way you killed him with kindness." And it was like strike two. I was like, yes, energy, killed him with kindness. And then to top it off, she went, "Listen, if you're going to do any, if you want any people to sort of experiment, you know, to work with, to see with your methods that you're talking about, I'll be happy to volunteer. I haven't got much." I said, "Listen, no problem. Come on board as long as you're willing to get on Zoom and let me record it." And obviously I said it's a we thing, and I explained, so we've got, so that was strike three. So pow, 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 fuck off, Mr. Negative. Off the back of that. And again, it was just through someone, my words, they're not physical, but they created in one person a negative feeling to think of his coke dealer. And then another person wanted to just reach out, and then eventually, like I said, yeah, she's speaking to her again tomorrow. I said I was going to speak to you actually, and then we get her booked in for our new concept as well, what we've been talking about, which I think will be amazing. So yeah, that's all energy, baby.
Well, I'm going to go one more on the cancer. I'm part of this cancer support group on Facebook. It's inspiring. I did a post on it the other day. Really inspiring. Loads of like success stories. A lot of support on there. There's a lot of people suffering as well. So there was a post from a guy who's like, "I'm giving up on chemo. None of this is working. Even when it does work, it's not working." And I'm going to show you how the power of our words is energy. Really, really powerful energy. So I was then looking at the comments. So first of all, if you look at the words he was saying, he's putting all this trap on himself. Then I was looking at the comments back. We live in the past so much that we tell people what not to do rather than what to do. So the first thing that everyone says, don't give up. So I want you to, like, that's quite, okay, that makes sense. But now just close your eyes for me. This works every time. Close your eyes, everyone. Don't think of the tiger. Don't think of the tiger. What do you think of it? So imagine if you're in a negative space at the moment. That means you're picking up on all these negative words, right? It's a noise, it's a vibration. Don't give up. Don't give in. Never quit. Quit. Give in. Give up. That's all they're hearing. So if we can be really protective and sensible about our energy, remove all them words entirely and use the opposite. Keep going. Stay strong. Be positive. That's what people take in. And if you all of a sudden, and I work with people just on the words that they use, and you'll start look at your friends. We do it from a protective place because we've been there, we've experienced it, so we don't want to do it again. But really, if we just flipped it and just focus on what we do want, just listen to the words. When someone said, like, this is another thing with cancer, and everyone in general, stop apologizing. Unless you genuinely mean it, stop apologizing. Because what I noticed with a close person to me, sorry, I was on a call with a friend. Sorry, I was really tired. I'm like, why are you saying sorry for? Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your understanding. Thank you for waiting. All of a sudden, because as soon as you say sorry, you've given them your power. And especially in England, we say sorry when we like get bumped into. You're saying sorry, like you're giving your power away. So this is the rule. If you're generally sorry, you apologise. But then you can be true to your word and say, I will always do this going forward. In your head, that won't happen again. As soon as you keep saying sorry all the time, again, I noticed it with my coach. Every time he turned up to a text message, and I know that he is mostly the guy that I look up to. I'm inspired by him. And every time I come into a conversation, oh, sorry, I was really busy today, or sorry, I was in a meeting, or sorry, I was on a flight. Every time I pulled him up on it. He didn't realise but he doesn't need to be sorry. I know he's busy. I know I know the work he does. So be careful with the words that you use. And and when you're writing your posts now, when we're educating people, I saw top 10 motivational posts, or this is the best one, motivational quotes on Google. One guy, never, never, ever put negativity into the world. Like, just close. Imagine if it's just all waffle. Never, ever, ever negativity. That's what most of that majority. So it's like 90% negative motivational quote. Top 10 motivational things to do for this. Don't do this. Never do that. Stop taking people so personally. Like, negative, negative, negative. Flip it, and your mood changes every time. So when I'm talking to people now, I can't wait to see you. I'm excited to see you. Never forget this.
Always remember.
You're telling your kids or your dog, if you're telling it not what to do, it doesn't know what to do. But so when I'm talking now and I'm like, no, never, I correct myself. And no one knows it, but I know it. And I'm like, oh, bit of positivity in that conversation. You can feel it. But when you receive a thank you for your patience, you're like, oh, they're so nice. They've been fucking late, and I'm actually saying, what a nice person they are.
It's so true, mate. I just want to quickly say as well, because I've got to get better with the messages thing. Loved by Lucy. So true. Do you think that's it in regards to the energy coming through the phone? And then she put afterwards, and people wonder why I never answer. Yes, I definitely think it's the energy. And all of us can relate to that, everyone. And yeah, mindful coaching today. Be kind, so underrated, and sharing a bit of gratitude costs nothing, feels amazing. Yeah, and actually, just to finish, I know this is I always say this, Hazard, but with a be kind thing, just so we can back up what we say with science, go check this out. Okay, so when you're kind, when you commit an act of kindness, you commit, I like the word to commit into kindness. That's a nice thing to commit to, actually. Committing to kindness. Your recipient, the person on the end of that lovely act that you've just done, gets a massive boost in the production of serotonin. And guess what? You, the kind giver, and this is nothing physical, that could just be a smile. You, the kind giver, also get an equal uptake in production of serotonin. And for those who don't know what serotonin is, what's serotonin?
I'm not going to be able to give the best answer for that one.
It's the happy chemical, guys. It's the stuff that, again, plays massive part in healing, along with things like endorphins. How do you get endorphins, Hazza?
It's embedded all within ourselves now. Like, I literally go into the day thinking, how can I make someone else happy today? And I know I come out of every day, and especially my conversations and the concept that we've created as well, you leave buzzing. Like, you feel the rush.
Yeah.
Deep within your gut.
Yeah. And we do. That's the thing. So that's the best. That's what I love what we're doing. It's because how we feel walking away from it. It's not a feeling of, I'm the bollocks. It's just this feeling of, oh my God, there's even more people like that. Like, it's because it is all centered around such simple things that are inherently imprinted in our souls, that these shells that we work with that get battered with all the programming and the shit gets chipped away and often suppressed deep. But it's all around these basic things, because if you are happy, you're healthy.
Mm-hmm. And
it's as simple as that.
And a good tactic, guys, when you're next talking to someone, you know what the most powerful thing is when you notice something about them that they didn't even notice themselves. And the best way to do that is put them up on their energy. So when they're talking, just watch them. Just literally, that should be your job. Just pay attention to their energy. And usually when they talk about their holidays or their children or their loved one, they light up. You can see like there's a glow there. You've got a little spark in the eye. Just say, can I just share an observation with you? When you talk about your kids, you light up. Watch how much they really light up there, and you feel so fucking good for it. That's really powerful. But all of a sudden, by doing that, they respect you because you notice them. A lot of people don't get noticed. You show them what they're actually passionate about. So let's say that life is quite shit at the moment, but that one little spark, if I'm having a conversation with that person, I'm just going to talk about that. If you've told me the rest of the world's terrible, I'm going to just keep asking about your kids. Tell me more. What was your holiday like? Tell me this. Tell me that. And all of a sudden, you can turn any conversation around if you pick up on the energy. I now work with people in the corporate fields, and people come to me with a dilemma of a new job. I get them to tell me, okay, give me all 4 scenarios. Tell me about each job. They're telling me. I'm not even listening to them. You literally go do that, watching their energy. There'd be 2 straight away. I'm like, can I share the observation again? When you talk about them 2, you're flat. I don't even need to say get rid of it now. They just move straight on to the next one. Tell me more about this one. Okay, for me, that feels right. I can sense it with you, and you can't hide from that. That's your feeling. That's your soul talking. So if you want to be happier, pick up on other people's energy, and you be the one in control of that whole conversation. You lead it, but notice when they get happy. Make it about them still. Just keep going on that. And it's like the DJ on the dance floor. You know the shit DJs play wicked music, and then they change the genre, and they don't notice that the whole crowd sits down again. That's conversation. Stay on topic. Don't be
even that.
About you.
I do. Mindful coaching, Dr. Day, just cracking example. That's why we all enjoy clapping for key workers. Was great, feels great, deserved by all. And that's something, I was definitely across the UK, I don't know how far it spread, but you know, that was a collective energy field of people coming together and yeah, clapping. It is a physical thing, but like you said, what did you feel when you was doing it? You know, you felt morally good. Your energetic morals was a boost, because that, again, these are things, your morals, your principles, your love, your energy, kindness, none of that is physical. It's all energy. It really is. It's there to be protected, and it's there to be shared as well. And that's massively, massively important. Definitely. It's a good example, that actually, really good example. So thank you very much,
and
Mindful
last
Coaching.
one, we're running out of time now, so it's going to cut off.
Go ahead.
When people ask you what you do, let's say that you have got a job, but after time we don't like answering it. So for me, I was a personal trainer for years. Never liked answering it because I always worried about being judged. I go to these black tie parties and stuff, and people are like, so what do you do then? You just be like, ugh. Now, when anyone asks you and you really like what you do, I love what I do. What do you do? I'm a personal trainer. No one can challenge how it makes you feel. So if you tell someone, I love what I do, and then I throw it back, do you love what you do? Doesn't matter what job they got, how much money they got. I just put them back down to my level again, because we're feeling. And then you start asking yourself, does this feel nice? Not does it seem right because I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Does it feel right? That's the true thing, because when you feel something, that's when it's real. That's the true present moment.
Beautiful way to wrap it up, mate, to be honest. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, as usual, sir, for a very, very, very informative conversation. I feel blessed. I feel my soul's been cleansed.
Thank you for everyone that tuning in again today. Really appreciate it. Lads Talk Health, me and James, we work together. We coach clients all over the world, but we have conversations with each other every day. So it now that we're going to be recording our conversations a lot more, and we've got themes and topics which can apply to so many people.
Oh, I'm going to poke in just one thing. My wife actually had a good idea. She went, why don't you throw it out there for people to give you a theme next time? More than happy. If, you know, people want something, it doesn't matter how gritty, the grittier and the realer, the better. And that includes any, you know, what we're happy talking about, pretty much anything. So again, that's open. for discussion. And yeah, I'd like to thank everyone who watches just for sharing, and please engage, because yeah, by all means, nothing is set in stone. If you come up with something juicy, we'll switch straight away to the juice and get you involved. So yeah, brilliant, mate. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Go
guys.
West Ham!
Cheers, James.
See you later.
See you, man.
Bye.